So get in and see it. Call us during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit our website at capitalcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. 75 years after D-Day, veterans honored in Normandy, France.
You are the glory of our republic, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
President Trump marking the anniversary of the invasion, which helped turn the tide of the war, along with world leaders, including the French president.
Emmanuel Macron presented the highest honor that France has to give, the Order of the Legion of Honor to 5 American veterans. The two leaders now are in the nearby town of Cannes. They're having a working lunch, bilateral meeting, a lot to talk about, probably some reflections of the morning, as well as trade, national security, Iran, North Korea.
Fox's John Roberts. And one cause of death ruled out for the Texas couple who died while on vacation in Fiji. Health officials saying the flu was not a potential cause, but they don't have an answer yet. This is Fox News.
W277CK Princeton. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for showers and thunderstorms today, mainly after lunchtime. Cloudy, high 81. Tonight, a 50-50 chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy, low around 68. Showers and thunderstorms likely again Friday, high near 78, with that chance of showers and thunderstorms continuing all weekend, with temps staying mild just shy of 80. Looks like our next full day of sunshine will be Tuesday, with milder temps staying with us through our extended forecast next week. Again, rain today with a high near 81.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Great Wall Chinese Restaurant. Time to take a look at community news here on 1580 103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Community Medical Clinic.
George Kuhn Public Library in Princeton will kick off its children's summer reading program today from 10 to 11 a.m. and 2 to 3 p.m. with guest Barry Mitchell. Check-in will open 30 minutes before program begins. Eagle Scout Council of Honor Cole Sherrill, Josh Sherrill, and Colin Schaefer will be held this Saturday at 4 p.m. at Ogden Memorial United Methodist Church. The public is invited and encouraged to attend. An artist reception for Jason Jones will be held at the Princeton Art Guild Sunday, June 9th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Light refreshments will be served. The public is invited to attend. Out of This World Art kicks off at 3 p.m. with paint night at George Kuhn Library in Princeton. The 3-part teen program is open to incoming 6th grade students through completed 12th grade students. Please call 365-2884 to register. The George Kuhn Public Library in Princeton will hold craft night the second Thursday of the month. The program is open to all ages, with the next craft night being June 13th. The cost is $5 per person. To register, call 365-2884. Get the kids in the kitchen this summer and kick it off with Baking Boot Camp at Caldwell County Extension Office Monday and Tuesday, June 17th and 18th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Children 6th through 8th grade will learn and practice basic baking skills they can take home and use to bake for the family. Reservations are available and space is limited, so call today 270-365-2787. Fredonia First Baptist Church Free Meal for All Community Fellowship will be held Thursday, June 20th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the ballpark in Fredonia. Everyone is welcome and the meal is free. The First Baptist Church Clothing Room will be open the 4th Tuesday of every month from 8:30 to 10:30, with the next opening on June 25th. There will be a large selection of clothing for men, women, and children. Please use the K Street entrance door. First Baptist Church is located at 300 West Main Street in Princeton. Get ready for a Farm City breakfast at First Baptist Church Christian Life Center in Princeton on Saturday, July 3rd, with meet and greet starting at 7:30 and breakfast at 8 a.m. featuring keynote speaker Nick Carter. Tickets must be purchased in advance by July 3rd at the Caldwell County Cooperative Extension Office. All proceeds benefit the Caldwell County Feeding God's Children Backpack Program.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
It seems like everyone is going on vacation except you. There's nothing you'd love more than to escape with your family for a few days.
Don't let money worry stop you. Visit ABC Finance.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morse at the Hopkinsville location.
We can help you take that family vacation you've been dreaming about.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like us on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
Brantley Furniture has been a mainstay in Princeton for many years. Jeannie, Megan, and the staff invite you to shop with them for all your home furniture and decor needs. They feature a large selection of living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture and mattresses. Their accent pieces and accessories are just phenomenal. They also carry baby furniture. For personal service and great selection, visit Brantley Furniture in historic downtown Princeton. Like them on Facebook and watch for weekly specials.
Hepatitis A has been getting a lot of publicity recently, but did you know that you can do something about your health protection against it? Protect yourself from hepatitis A and stop by Community Medical Clinic in Princeton, Hopkinsville, or Oak Grove for your hepatitis A vaccine shot today. Community Medical Clinic is committed to not only taking care of you when you're ill, but also in keeping you and your family healthy and strong throughout the year. To learn more, call them today at 270-365-0227 to make an appointment. Walk-ins are also welcome.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning. The Sideline Report is on the air from the WPKY studios at 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY and your SportsEdge.com. Thanks for joining us. In the studio this morning, we've got Caldwell County boys basketball coach Daniel Kukahiko. Daniel, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. And also sitting in on the show today, Ty Englebright.
Great to be here, Todd.
The newest free agent acquisition of WPKY Radio. Thanks for doing the show today, and we got a little surprise coming up a little bit later. We got a top 5 that we brought back.
You sort of tipped them off at the end of the last hour. So
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I wondered about that. I wondered if that was deliberate coming into the show or not.
Of course it was. Just to kind of, when we mention it, what our top 5 might be today, maybe they'll spring something and go, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, that's sort of a throwback to the early days of the
Skating
sideline.
rink days.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, I was going to say the early days of the Sideline Report.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we used to always have the top 5, so we're going to do that again. And, yeah, we're going to leave you hanging for just a little bit, but want to talk to Daniel. First of all, a busy day coming up for you guys, headed off to Bowling Green here in just a little bit.
Absolutely. Get on a bus here in just a little while to head to Bowling Green for, I guess, about 3 days, play some games, get some good competition, and have some fun.
Well, that was big last year because Darian Boyd actually was up there and actually was seen, and that's kind of how he ended up with the offer from Georgetown.
It was. One of the assistant coaches now at Georgetown was at Western. We were there and talked to Darian the first night we were there and started to build a relationship there, and it was good for him. And Western runs a good camp, and so we're excited about going back for year number 2.
What all exactly do you get accomplished at a camp like this?
Well, there's on-the-court stuff and off-the-court stuff. On the court, you get to play at least 5 games plus a tournament, and tournament's obviously an elimination. They do a really cool, which it's one of the few camps that the only one I've heard that does this. It's situational night. Tonight about 9:30, which is late for me, but for the guys it'll be fine. It's a full bracketed tournament. They put you in a situation, and if you win, you advance, and then they have a prize for the winning team. But it's really cool because you can't simulate that in practice against another team. And last year, I think we went through 4 or 5 rounds of it, and should have won it probably, but we came up a little bit short. But it's just a really cool something you can't simulate in practice. But then off the court, you get a chance for the guys to hang out for an extended period of time where it's not all about basketball. You get to eat together, you get to travel together, you get to hang out in the dorms together, and so it's a team building, team chemistry experience as well.
And I think going back to last year, you just never know when somebody might see you if you're a basketball player, whether it's at camp or even in warm-up line before a game or something. I mean, you just never know when somebody is going to take a look at you and an opportunity is going to arise.
Absolutely. And there's, obviously we're going to Western's camp, but there'll be other coaches there and coaches talk, and you never know, like last year in Darian's situation where, coach changes schools and coaches at different levels talk as well. So it's a great way to get some exposure, but also just, like I said, go up there and have some fun.
We're talking with Caldwell County boys basketball coach Daniel Kukahiko this morning. Ty Engelbright also sitting in with us on the show. We need to get to a break, but we'll be back with more. You're listening to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
The WKDZ Barn Bash is coming to the Western Kentucky State Fair in Hopkinsville. Friday night at 7 on June 28th at the Convention Center. Rising country stars Quiva and Blaine Howard will perform a benefit show for Pennyroyal Hospice. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7. Make a donation to Pennyroyal Hospice and pick up a free WKDZ Barn Bash shirt. Quiva is live at the Western Kentucky State Fair on June 28th.
How do you know if it's really love? You just do. I don't know.
See and hear Blaine Howard live on June 28th.
I promise to love her with all that I have.
Bring the whole family out for a night of free country music at the Western Kentucky State Fair Convention Center. Admission to the WKDZ Barn Bash is free with your paid fair admission.
This is Debbie Maxey, Assistant Director of Nursing at Christian Care Center of Catawba. We realize that selecting a place for long-term care or short-term rehab can be challenging. That's why we want you to know that only 6% of nursing facilities nationwide have earned the Joint Commission Gold Seal for care and services. Our staff has that distinction. Nurturing body, mind, and spirit are more than just words. It's what we do. See what we have to offer at 1253 Lake Barkley Drive or visit us cccofcatawba.com.
Back on the Sideline Report on a Thursday morning at WPKY 1580, 103.3 and WPKYonline.com. Hi, a little Donnie Iris bringing us out of the break. Yeah. All right, we're back on the Sideline Report. Daniel Kukahiko in with us today, the boys basketball coach at Caldwell County, and a busy summer. We mentioned that you're going to camp at Western Kentucky, but some nice games for your team over at the Sportsplex in Hopkinsville earlier this week too.
Absolutely, a nice facility over there. First time I actually been inside of it. Went over there. A lot of good teams over there. The Henderson's, Christians, Marshall County was there. We went over and competed, and it was fun to walk away with a couple of wins and play pretty well. So it was a good way to start the summer off.
How much stock do you put in those wins over the summer? I mean, it's big anytime when you beat somebody with Henderson County or Christian County on their jersey, but those games are played a little differently than it would be if it was the regular season.
Right, the format's different. We're playing 2 20-minute running clocks, so the game is a little bit shorter, so to speak, but like you said, a win's a win. I don't care if you're playing, chess over here in the corner or if we're, what we're doing. A win is always nice to get. But things are done a little bit different this summer. Coaches try to, figure out what the optimal lineup would be, who you can play with who can be in what position. And so, while it's still a win, and it was a good win, both were good wins, you still just trying to figure out the identity of your team going into the dead period, so kind of where you stand.
And Christian County had a pair of teams in that, but seemed like there their team was pretty athletic, and I thought that was a good test for your team. Win or lose, that was a good team to go against.
Oh, absolutely. Christian, they're always going to be an athletic team, and Coach Stovall does a great job over there. He's got a pretty good track record over there, cutting down some state championship net. But it's anytime you play those schools, you're going to play against athletes, no matter how many teams they bring, and that's what you need in the summer. You need to play against top-notch competition to figure out where you're at and to show the guys what it takes to compete at that level.
I noticed one team over there was Marshall County. I'm not sure if you got a chance to watch the Marshalls any or not, but they look pretty good and missing a couple of players that might be their two best players, including one kid that might end up being the best player in the state this year.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Birdsong there for a little while, and I don't believe they lost anybody coming back from last year's team. And then obviously, Zion not being there. He was at another camp on this week, but he'll be with them some this summer. And when you have that kind of continuity coming back, and we're not that dissimilar from that. We have a lot of guys coming back as well, but they bring back a lot of guys, a couple of bigs inside that can really play and are very athletic. And then obviously you put a top player in the country into that mix. It's gonna you get the chemistry right. It's gonna be something special.
Yeah, the Marshall County head coach is Terry Birdsong, who's a former Caldwell County basketball coach, and Terry's athletic director down there is Mike Johnson, who's another Caldwell Countyan. And Kerry Stovall's from Lyon County, so there were a lot of local connections. Yeah, over there at the summer shootout, I believe they called it, at the Sportsplex. And what was your the first time for me over at the Sportsplex? What was your initial thoughts about the complex over there?
It was a well laid out facility. You walk in and you got that huge turf that can be used, I guess, football, soccer. I know the Hopkinsville baseball team used it before they went to playoffs in the region finals. Great layout there. Then I think you have as many as 6 courts. They're a little bit smaller when you make 6, but 3 full-size courts. The facility was just it was very well done. And obviously you got lots of volleyball courts over there that can be used. There's goals that drop down out of the ceiling everywhere. The kids, lots of stuff can be going on in a little space at the same time. So it was good.
A lot of curtains that they can pull down and break up the courts every which way. So, it was a really nice place, and I'm not sure what kind of money they put into it, but I think they're going to get that money back pretty quickly, and that area is just going to grow over in Hopkinsville.
It is. There's that, and then we talked about earlier the hotel that's literally probably 25 feet from the doors, and then there's not really a whole lot. MSU's got a campus just a little bit down the road, but there's lots of area for growth out there, so I think they'll be putting some stuff up there soon.
It's interesting because, Ty, when I was younger, I thought Hopkinsville ended at the mall,
That's what we all thought, didn't it? It's like, but really it did. It's just been kind of the last, 20, 25 years that it's kind of expanded, but, it's a growing place.
It is.
And fantastic facility. I was on your sportsedge.com looking at, the facility. You were over there. I think Scott was over there. And, boy, what a nice facility that is, and what a nice addition it will be to that town and the potential for the events over there.
Well, it started out kind of with the Stadium of Champions, and then Tiebreaker Park and the water park they've got over there, and seems like the city, there used to be a big break, it seemed like, between Hopkinsville and going to Fort Campbell, and now it's just like one big metropolitan area through there. It all just kind of grew together at some point.
Sure.
And I think as they put that sportsplex in that location, it's going to help really bridge that gap with all the stuff they're going to put in that area.
Well, and that was a really good location for that because it's nowhere to Clarksville from Hopkinsville, and they could bring in people from all over the place, and that building is going to get a lot of use. And again, my first time over there, and I was pretty impressed with the way everything was set up.
Absolutely, me too.
It worked out perfect for, summer basketball action.
And there's with that many courts in one facility, as with anywhere, you don't have any. We went over and got there a little before 5, and we played 4 games back to back to back to back, and, you go play and you leave. There's not a lot of dead time, which is, as a coach in the summer, is especially what you want.
Absolutely. How important is it to get those games in over the summer, and about how many games would you like to play? What kind of workload are you looking at over the summer?
If we can get to 15 or 20 games, I think you have once school gets out until the dead period, you have, I think you can, I don't want to play too many games because a lot of these guys are playing AAU, so you want to give them the spring and then after the dead period to do that. But I like to play anywhere around 15 games. I think you can see what you need to see in that, and it gives the guys enough buy-in to compete. You get to see who you can put where and develop some chemistry on the court, because just like lots of other schools, and we're kind of, I guess in this season we're a little bit unique in this, is that we don't have a lot of guys that are going to play a lot of fall sports. So we're going to have a lot of these guys back in the gym, with the exception of a couple, even right after the dead period, and so they're gonna be looking at me for a long time. So we want to give them a little bit of time off, but 15 games or so, and then you match that with probably about half as many practices of that, and then you kind of get a clear picture of what you got.
Well, anymore, is it kind of June is reserved for basketball, and then football kind of takes over in July? Is that kind of the way it's scheduled?
That's kind of the way we see it. I see. Obviously, I told the guys this, and I encourage them, if they want to play 10 sports in high school, go play 10 sports. As long as they don't, sometimes it's tough when in the same season, you don't really want to do that. But go play everything, because they get to be in high school one time, and so it's you want it to be a fun experience for them, and so yeah.
I think when a lot of people look at your team this year as opposed to last year, obviously they see Darian Boyd and his 25 points a game and almost 10 rebounds. They're gone, and you guys lost some really talented seniors last year, but you've got a really athletic team coming back that I think people don't realize just how athletic and quick you can be.
Right, and that last year, and we talked about this from day one last year, is that we had we graduated 2 seniors that had started for 3 years, John and Darian, and they were a big part of our program for the last 3 years. They, last year we looked at, we talked about at our banquet and stuff, just running some stats and numbers, that they were about a little over 50% of a lot of our categories. But that means we have 50% coming back too, and we have a lot of guys that'll be thrown in some roles, and we're not an inexperienced team. We have seven guys that are coming back that had significant varsity time over the last couple of years, and don't get me wrong, it's roles are going to change, and it's tough to replace 2 players like that who have been a big part of your program, but we're not starting from scratch. We have Caden's been a 3-year starter. Our post played very well the other night, by the way, and they've, gave us a lot of minutes. And you have, Jamarius and Adarius and T.J. Ray played well, and you add Trip Branch in there, and Jabrion Spikes coming in. I mean, lots of names you can throw out there that that was the one thing in Hopkinsville the other night, and I hope to see it again at Western, is that we shuffled the lineup a whole lot at Hopkinsville. We put a whole lot of guys, lots of different lineups. We went big at times, we went small at times, and really, there was positives to take from all those lineups. So that's good. It's a good problem to have as a coach. It's tough when you start dishing out playing time, but it's a good problem to have.
Well, and one of the best things is you guys are long enough and athletic enough you can defend people.
That's right. We put a whole lot of time and emphasis on defense, because if you, we're not trying to. I mean, if we could, that'd be great. Hold teams to 25 or 30 points.
Yeah.
But if you hold them to 50, you only got to score 51. If you hold them to score 80, you got to score 81 to win. And we don't want to put ourselves. We want to make it as easy as we can as possible.
Well, in that interview with Caden that was on the Sports Edge, he mentioned, Todd, you were talking about, he mentioned the defense. And he says, if you play good defense, and it is basketball, if you play good defense, the offense is going to come.
Absolutely.
And you've got, 6 seniors?
6 seniors.
See, I didn't realize that until I got on the Sports Edge and realized that, there are 6 seniors, and maybe they weren't all on the court for a bunch of minutes last year. But that's great leadership, and you can't replace that. That's valuable.
You're right. And the thing about these 6 seniors is they're all 4-year guys. They've been here. They've battle tested. They went through, last couple of years have been some ups and downs, and they've went through it. They're battle tested. They help us raise the standard last year to where we needed to get it, and they're motivated and committed to keeping that standard where it's at, and on and off the court. And so that's, as a coach, when you have that amount of guys that have that mindset, it makes our job a little bit easier.
Yeah, and one thing in the Caden Frelick's interview, if you watch it, We almost get wiped out by a stray basketball. I mean,
I saw that. Yeah. He gets tickled, and but that's life in the sportsplex, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, and I think I bit my tongue once while trying to ask a question. So, it's the dangers of being the sports guy.
Hey, hazardous duty pay, not yet, but we're getting there.
Well, Daniel, how busy a schedule do you have coming up next week? I know you're going to camp. We've mentioned that, but you've still got some summer games to go, too.
We do. We got about 2.5 weeks left before the dead period starts. We'll go to camp this weekend, come back, and then over the next couple of weeks, we'll play at Marshall. We'll play at we're going to host a game over the next couple of weeks, or host a couple of games, and we'll get in the gym and practice, and then we're going to I think at that point we'll be ready for the dead period, because we're not taking too many days off. We're spending a lot of time, some individual instruction time, and then also some team stuff. And so that's, it gets us about to that limit of about 15 games where I want to be.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what we have to come up next couple of weeks.
We're talking this morning with Caldwell boys basketball coach Daniel Kukahiko. Ty Englebright in the studio with us. We need to get to a break. I do want to tell you about Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride in Princeton. It's a 2008 GMC Yukon XL Denali, all-wheel drive, gray in color. See Dave for details at U-Ride in Princeton. That's U-Ride 310 Marion Road. Telephone 270-365-3215. Ty, that's Dave's Deal of the Week.
That's always a good one for Dave's Deal of the Week out there. So go check it out. Give it a spin around the block.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Sideline Report. Back with more after this on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for showers and thunderstorms today, mainly after lunchtime. Cloudy, high 81. Tonight, a 50-50 chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy, low around 68. Showers and thunderstorms likely again Friday, high near 78, with that chance of showers and thunderstorms continuing all weekend, with temps staying mild just shy of 80. Looks like our next full day of sunshine will be Tuesday, with milder temps staying with us through our extended forecast next week. Again, rain today with a high near 81.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Penny Rowell Home Medical.
This Thursday is the first Thursday music series at Adams Breezy Hill Farm Restaurant and Mercantile. Come on out for Endless Pizza Night, great fellowship, and fantastic music with the Vintage Station Band from 6 to 8 p.m. Make plans to join them. Call 270-365-1234. There's nothing better than a great meal, great atmosphere, and great music. You'll find it all at Adams Breezy Hill Farm Restaurant this Thursday for the first Thursday night music series. Adams Breezy Hill Farm Restaurant, 1222 Cadiz Road, Princeton, Kentucky.
Be sure to save the date for 2019's Pennyrile Electric Night at the Western Kentucky State Fair, Tuesday, June 25th. Enjoy free admittance to the fair, the music of the Ridge Runners, a chance to win a weekend getaway to Nashville, and a performance by country music royalty Ben and Noel Haggard.
But that's all in the movie.
They'll be sure to pay tribute to their legendary father, Merle Haggard. The Big Pennyrile Electric Annual Meeting, Tuesday, June 25th at the Western Kentucky State Fair.
A little Genesis bringing us back on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Ty, did you pick out the bump back music today?
Is that Abacab?
I believe it is, yes. Can't go wrong with Genesis.
No, I love Genesis. Besides the Pet Shop Boys, when I used to leave the station, I always get on to you about playing the Pet Shop Boys,
No, nothing wrong with the Pet Shop
Boys. No, nothing wrong with the Pet Shop Boys. I think you got on a Genesis kick.
Oh, I love Genesis.
Oh, yeah. I think when Land of Confusion came out, about 85. Remember that album?
Yeah, I remember the video.
Yeah. So I remember you spun it a lot when I was leaving the parking lot.
And Disturbed actually does a great version of that Land of Confusion.
That's a great song, though.
Yeah.
Especially for those times back in the mid-'80s.
We're getting a little off topic of sports here, but we do have a top 5 coming up that will kind of fit in.
It's music.
Yes, it is music.
We'll give you a hint.
So stick around. We're going to move on to the top 5 just a little bit later on, but Daniel Kukahiko, Caldwell County boys basketball coach, is with us. And Daniel, you mentioned the kids that aren't there anymore and the kids that are still there, but you said you're having to tweak your style just a little bit. What can we expect differently this season?
Not really having to tweak it too much. We're still going to be about defense and rebounding the basketball, and then we want to get it out and go. It changes when you put when you put two bigs on the floor versus one, you force you to change your style a little bit. You want to get the basketball inside. We did a good job. I can think of 4 or 5 instances in the chaos of a summer game that we got the ball inside, made a handful of really good post moves, and that's encouraging to see. So obviously, when you want to get your bigs involved, you want to get them down the floor. You want to get the ball in their hands and see what they can do. But at the same time, we're going to put 3 or 4 or 5 guards on the floor sometimes at one time, and that could be a number of guys that can, in transition, are very, very good about getting to the rim.
And you have some options. You actually have some big guys, which outside of Eli Pepper is a rarity at Caldwell County.
It is, and we've had these two for the last, the last 3 years, hopefully the 4th year. Yeah, they don't come around too often, but they're guys that are fun to watch, and so we're excited to see what they can do. And speaking of Eli, got a new job overseas. Absolutely, I was excited. He called me and told me, and I couldn't be more proud. I knew it was going to happen, and it's pretty cool. He's going to get to experience a lot of things that and get paid to do it, so that's good. Yeah. It's pronounced Glasgow over there, right, Ty?
Hey, I'm going with what you say. Kentucky, it's Glasgow, but yeah, I think it might be Glasgow.
So that'll be fun, and just to get over there and be able to see the sights is a big thing. But he's actually going to get paid for playing basketball. That's right. It'll be fun for him. And hopefully we can get him on the show one of these days. I've been working on it, and I think he wants to be on the show with us again. Ty, we had him on once before.
We sure did.
Right before Lipscomb was going to play North Carolina in the NCAA tournament that year. And, of course, this past season they made the run all the way to Madison Square Garden in the NIT. So he had quite the college basketball career. He did. Lots of new experiences there, and I think it's only going to continue to grow for him. He was fun to watch, being somewhat close to home. But I think that group that Coach Alexander brought in there to Lipscomb was a special group. They got, obviously Garrison Matthews is obviously going to be playing overseas as well. And then still got guys coming back next year, or maybe coming back next year. It was just a fun group to watch play. Well, and Eli fits in well, I think, in the pro game because you're looking at a 6'10" kid that can shoot. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that will give him some opportunities to play someplace. Right, and then when you get to that level, if you find one guy that you can put out there that can rebound, I would say that finding guys that are willing to and are good at shooting is probably a little easier to find guys that want to just go get rebounds. Right. And Eli's always had that knack of going gravitating to the ball.
Kind of a ball mag.
It is. It comes right to him almost all the time, which is why he's accumulated probably 4,000 or 5,000 rebounds in his career. Looking ahead to next basketball season, it's going to be tough in the 7th District with Madisonville, probably the best team in the 2nd region, but that's kind of where the bar is set, I guess. They're tough. They bring back a lot of guys. They got some young guys that will fill those roles of the seniors they lost, and but it's exciting to know that we get to hopefully play them 3 times, 2 for sure, and go compete against them because you want to play the best teams and see where you're at. And so, but they're going to be the thing about them is they have the size, they have the quickness, they have the guys that can shoot, and that's kind of a 3-headed monster in high school basketball. If you have those 3 things, you can compete at a very, very high level. You guys were right there with them though, and even had an 8 or 10 point lead here going into the 4th quarter against them during the regular season. So, I mean, you guys were right there with them, just couldn't quite grab a hold of them. We did. We played about a 95% complete game, and there was a stretch of about 2 minutes, and we just never recovered from it. We played good basketball after that stretch, but there was a couple of plays. They turned up the pressure on us, and we just lost our head for almost maybe 2-3 possessions. It just never could get it back to where we can get back control of the game. But, it's playing in games like that, and I think even though that was last year, it's going to help this group out because they've been there before. They know exactly what it looks like. You don't have to try to obviously we'll still try to simulate that in practice, but it's they've seen it firsthand, so it's don't have to tell them about it. They saw it. Speaking of the 7th District this coming season, it's going to be fun, especially with a former Tiger now over at Hopkins County Central. Michael Fralix is over there, so if those games were intense before, they just got ramped up. Absolutely. It's going to be fun having him back on the sideline again. as a head coach. It brings me back to a few years ago when I was at Central as an assistant, and he was here as the head coach, kind of coaching against him there, and now we kind of flopped roles a little bit. But he'll do a great job over there. I'm sure he's already got his guys in the gym. I'm sure they'll be playing some summer games, and it'll be fun. And then Dawson got a new head coach as well. They just hired Coach Hicks, and so it'll be another fun year in the 7th District.
It's always interesting when you see people from here, other places, and the loyalty is still there to the blue and gold, but they're also all in with whatever current team they're coaching.
Absolutely. Make no mistake, I know that Coach Freilich, Michael, will have his team ready, and they'll be coming over here and to kick our tails. We'll say that.
Well, yeah, they want to win. They want to make a good showing. When they come back, they want to come back with a team that they're proud of, and they want to go out there and get a win. And I think they're still trying to make the community proud of them, even when they're coaching somebody else.
I never played basketball, never on the court with a guy. You can just tell he's a pretty fierce competitor. He's
no doubt.
He's got the eye of the tiger, to speak.
He does. He does.
That'll be fun though to see him on. And he coached at Livingston Central last year and helped them out, and they had a nice team. And Daniel, who do you see next year in the 2nd region that maybe will surprise somebody? If it's not Caldwell County.
Well, we like to think it's going to be Caldwell County. Obviously, we play Henderson and play Christian. Those are the bigger schools. You can't sleep on Lyon County. They lost, Gabe Board, who's was a phenomenal player and just a person to watch play the game, and also baseball as well. But they got a lot of young talent down there. So they'll be fun to watch. With Coach Burgett and I going to Trigg County, they got a young group over there, and those are typically in the 2nd region. Sometimes those smaller schools kind of get forgotten about, but they're going to have a lot of talent as well. So it'll be fun to watch, and then you never sleep on hopefully never sleep on us as well. So you look at it could be a number of teams, but those are some ones that I think, other than the the Madisonvilles, the Hendersons, the Christians, that I think can really make some noise.
Looking back to last season, I thought you guys had an exceptional year. Everybody's always disappointed whenever you lose, whatever round it's in. Everybody wants to win one more game, but when you look back at last year now, what are your thoughts on the season as a whole?
Oh, it was a fun ride. There was some growing pains, we'll say that, last year early in the season. But after that, once the guys bought in, and we talk about the standard a whole lot, just on and off the court, how we want to present ourselves, how we want our body language to be, how do we want to perform on the court. Once we got through those and really bought into that as a team, it was so much fun. Obviously, having those seniors on the team, a part of this, but our underclassmen, it was just it was exciting, thinking about so many of the different games. You mentioned the Madisonville game at home against a team that nobody probably expected us to stay within 30 points of, to do that, and then going to UHA and almost having a chance to beat them at UHA on their senior night. That was a fun game. And then obviously going to the regional tournament, getting back there, and then playing Union County and going back and forth there, and playing in front of that crowd, and then getting another shot at UHA. It didn't quite turn out like we wanted it, but to play in front of that kind of atmosphere and earn the right to be in that spot, it was fun. But off the court as well, these guys are they're fun to be around. They're clowns. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're clowns.
That's good though.
That
keeps the team loose.
Keeps them loose.
It does.
That's right.
It does. And this senior class is no short of, you never know what you're going to experience when you walk in with this team.
Yeah.
I know they're going to be there. I know they're going to work hard, but it's just they're just fun to be around. I'll say that.
Well, good luck this season, and we know you got to get out of here, but I do have one more question, and this comes up quite often. Where does the name Kukahiko come from?
It is Hawaiian. My grandfather was born and raised there, and I often follow that question up with, I don't know why he chose to come over here. Obviously, college, military, and that kind of stuff, and I'm glad he came here now because we love Princeton and Caldwell County, but it's Hawaiian, so there's Hawaiian blood flowing through these veins.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many times I get asked by somebody, now how do you say that again? I'm like, Coach K.
Yeah.
Now, do you have Spam in your house a lot?
We do not.
Okay.
I'm not
but you know what I'm talking about, don't
you?
Yeah.
I do. I'm not the biggest. My grandfather was. I'm not the biggest fan of it. The idea kind of just gets away from me a little bit.
I kind of dig Spam. I know somebody. I've had some friends from White, and they do fried rice with Spam. I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, if you don't. Growing up, every time I went to my grandfather's house, there was a pot of rice. I mean, it was there. He ate with everything, so it was it was
it's a Hawaiian thing.
It's a Hawaiian thing.
They love their Spam over there.
Exactly, and I will say one thing. We went a couple of times. Everybody thinks they know what pineapple tastes like and mango. If you haven't eaten a pineapple and a mango from Hawaii, you've never eaten pineapple and mango.
Yeah.
So it's a different taste, and
the genetics run strong over there, don't they?
They do.
Those fruits.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, we appreciate you coming by today, and one of these days we're going to get Eli Pepper, we're going to get Elijah Sindelar, we're going to get you in here, and then we'll have us a big show.
That'll be good. That'll be during the break a while ago, I was telling you guys there's a wealth of knowledge in this room right now, and it's not coming from this microphone right here. I can tell you that.
Don't sell yourself short.
No, that'd be fun. I look forward to that.
Well, we know you got to get out of here, and you guys are headed to Bowling Green. Appreciate you spending some time with us today, and like I said, we'll have you back in again sometime.
Sounds
good.
Have
a great few days.
Yeah.
We will.
That is Daniel Kukahiko, the head boys basketball coach at Caldwell County High School, and Ty Englebright in the studio with us this morning. We've got more to go on the Sideline Report, including the top 5. It's coming up next. You're listening to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for showers and thunderstorms today, mainly after lunchtime. Cloudy, high 81. Tonight, a 50-50 chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy, low around 68. Showers and thunderstorms likely again Friday, high near 78, with that chance of showers and thunderstorms continuing all weekend, with temps staying mild just shy of 80. Looks like our next full day of sunshine will be Tuesday, with milder temps staying with us through our extended forecast next week. Again, rain today with a high near 81.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Treasures Remembered.
Get spruced up with quality mulch from Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road in Princeton. We all know that buying mulch by the truckload saves money, and it's only $25 per load for dark natural mulch at Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road, 1/2 mile past City County Park. Bashir Sawmill also buys standing timber and timberland. Give them a call today, 270-365-2330. That's Bashir Sawmill, family owned and operated in Princeton for over 50 years. Okay, a little Hall & Oates this time, bringing us back out of the commercial break. I do want to tell you once again, though, about Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride in Princeton. It's a 2008 GMC Yukon XL Denali, all-wheel drive, gray in color. See Dave for details at U-Ride in Princeton. That's U-Ride 310 Marion Road, Princeton. Telephone 270-365-3215. Todd Griffin back on the Sideline Report along with Ty Englebright, and thanks again for Coach Kukahiko for coming in and joining us a little bit this morning. We kept him a while, but that was great. We found out some good information.
A lot of good stuff about the team.
Absolutely. And we've kept everybody in suspense long enough, Ty.
Oh, boy.
It's our top 5, and this kind of fits in with sports, though, because these guys have a lot of sports anthems.
Yeah, a lot of their music, you hear them at ball games, and, and it's kind of like, it's you kind of like, oh, man, are they playing that again? But it's part of the American sports tradition, some of it.
It's our top 5 Journey songs.
Yes, I tried to stay away from the ballads. I tried to.
I've got a couple. Well, let's just start.
My phone's going to start blowing up. You want me to go first?
You want to go first? Okay, go
ahead. No, I don't.
You
tell me. Okay, we're going to do 5, right? So at my number 5, I've kind of got a tie here, okay? And this is I think my only ballad.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. Who's Crying Now? Okay, now that one's kind of popular. And then a deeper cut, Someday Soon. You ever heard that one?
I remember it barely.
Yeah. It's off one of their late 70s albums. I believe it's off Infinity, maybe.
Okay, so
that's what I've got. Who's Crying Now? That's off Escape.
Yes.
And then Someday Soon, which is a deeper track off an earlier LP.
I've got a couple of honorable mentions since we're doing that, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Wheel in the Sky and Send Her My Love.
Yeah.
I couldn't fit those in, but
that's pretty good. So far, we don't have the same ones.
Yeah. My number 5 is Any Way You Want It, and I can never hear that song or even think about it without seeing Rodney Dangerfield dancing in the fairway in Caddyshack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's might show up on my list somewhere.
Yeah.
So, good choices. Yeah. My number 4 is Feeling That Way Too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Only the Young from the Vision Quest soundtrack, which pretty powerful soundtrack back in the day.
That was a great soundtrack for our radio era because there were a lot of hits off that record. And actually, and I was not aware of it, it's on Frontiers.
Is it really on
that
Frontiers?
That track is on Frontiers, and I was not aware. I just discovered that. I always thought, well, they did that song just for the soundtrack. It was a soundtrack song.
Was it a re-release or was it on there originally?
I don't know. I'm thinking it was a release. I'm thinking like you as a re-release. Because I was like, man, I don't remember that being, because I think it would have been a hit back in the Frontiers days.
The story I remember on that song is they wrote the song for Frontiers, but then they sold it to Scandal, and they recorded it.
Only the Young?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So then when Journey wanted to do it again, they had sold the song, and they actually had to pay quite a bit of money to Scandal to get to record their own song.
I didn't know that.
And it ended up on the Vision Quest soundtrack, which
you
also
go.
includes a Dio song. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, yes, and that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Number 3, is that where we're at?
Are we at number 3? Did you give your number 4? Yeah.
Yeah, Only the Young.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, my number 3 is Only the Young.
All right, there we go.
So there you go.
See, I thought I was going to slip that one in there and you wouldn't get it.
No, it's one of my favorites.
Okay, number 3, I'm going to throw a ballad at you. I think this is one of their best songs. It's Open Arms. I think that's, I thought about Faithfully for a ballad, but I think Faithfully is kind of trying to redo Open Arms.
That song was in a movie, too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to say which one it was,
Okay.
but we'll talk off the air. That one. No, I'm serious, though. It wasn't a kind of a cult early 80s film that I can't find. I've been trying to find it, like online to stream it. I can't find it, but anyway.
I bet these guys make a lot of money on songs that were in films and movies and whatever.
I'm sure they do. But that's good. Journey is just timeless, basically. And my number 2 is I've got 2 here. Any Way You Want It, of course.
All right.
And again, I'm like you. That's one of the Caddyshack songs. But that's what a great cut that is. That's rock and roll, man.
That kind of got them on the map, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did, I think. But they had some stuff earlier. But then Stone in Love off Escape.
Yeah, I like that
was one that it didn't ever have. I mean, it had radio play. I don't think it was ever a huge hit type thing for them. So that's my number 2 kind of tie there.
When you talk about hits, though, from like the 70s and 80s, there are lots of songs that are big on oldies or classic stations now, and they're really recognizable songs. But if you actually go back and look at the charts when they were out originally, they didn't do all that well.
No.
They might have peaked at 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But now they're like these huge classics. Speaking of that, my number 2 is Don't Stop Believing. Couldn't leave that off.
Can't leave it off at all. In fact, that's my number 1.
Wow.
So and I say, gosh, and that's one of those. It's not quite. I mean, you hear it a lot, and that's kind of the one you hear at the sporting events. You go, really? But I don't know. I don't ever get sick of it. I just think it's a cool song.
Oh yeah.
I just don't get sick of it. I can hear it, and if I might be having a bad day and I hear that, I like it.
Okay, my number 1, it's a little different sound for Journey, I thought, and I just remember this song from way back in the day. Who's Crying Now?
Yeah, neat song.
That
was in my number 5. So yeah.
I still stick that song in every now and then and listen to it.
It's got a great guitar solo. That's one of those when you're a little kid. I say, look, I'm aging myself though, but you're lying. If you kind of go to sleep with the radio on, it'd be like 1:30 in the morning. You hear that. You're kind of halfway asleep and you hear that Neil Sean guitar solo.
Well, with me, it's always the piano at the opening. It's just a little different.
It's a little different, but those songs, all of them, they call Journey like one of these corporate bands, because they were
like
kind
a Styx or somebody like that.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I think their music's pretty good.
Yeah,
believe it or not,
it's stood the test of time. Mm-hmm. We're still talking about it.
Sure.
That Escape album was great. The Frontiers album, I know. Probably some hardcore Journey fans are upset that we didn't have some of the really early stuff. But
I pulled some stuff from the 78, 79 albums. I think there was Infinity is one of them, and I can't Evolution,
right.
Evolution, and those and they had different Steve Perry wasn't always the lead singer back on those. They would switch. But boy, what a good group that was.
Well, and how do you beat Steve Perry as your lead singer? I mean, that guy's on like the short list of all time. Yeah,
guy can wail.
So that's our top 5
Pipes.
Journey. Yeah. great to bring back the top 5. And
it is. And I think we did pretty well. I mean,
yes.
I mean, we're going to pat ourselves on the back today because I think they're pretty good lists.
Lots of sports going on, though,
Yeah.
and we know there's a couple of people out there that want us to stick to sports, and I can never do that.
It's okay. That's what what you do, man.
Yeah, you have to throw some other things out there.
There are sports.
Yeah, I love sports, but you can the music thing just kind of goes with sports. Movies, music, TV.
Or anymore, if you're in a sports venue and there's a break in the action, or you're going to hear music.
Well, yeah. Or you see a clip from a movie on the screen. I mean, it's all part of the show.
Calling Gloria.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah,
my notes simply say blues.
Man,
Game
what about
5.
them? What about them?
Game 5 tonight in Beantown.
They're doing it.
If you steal one there, you're up 3-2. You go back to St. Louis Sunday, I think it is, for Game 6 with a chance to win the Stanley Cup in St. Louis.
And that's an amazing story when you think about it.
The Stanley Cup.
I know, yeah. That and just the Gloria story is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
How all that worked.
The Stanley Cup, though, and I know there's not a lot of hockey fans in Caldwell County, and that's fine. But the Stanley Cup playoffs are really, I mean, to me, it's as good as college football playoffs or the Super Bowl or the World Series or any of those. And
it is the Super Bowl of hockey.
Yeah. But it's so much different than the regular season. And hockey's great. If you have a chance, go to a game, Nashville, St. Louis, wherever, go see it. It's completely different in person. But it all gets ramped up in the playoffs. I mean, it's just a different thing. I mean, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the playoffs go for like 2 months. But it's awesome. I mean, it's just the hitting's, skating's faster, hitting's harder.
And the Bruin fans, I mean, you go to Beantown, and I mean, they are just, I mean, Boston fans are some of the most fanatical fans of their sport in the country. So it just makes it even a notch higher.
In Boston, the Bruins are right there with the Celtics and the Red Sox and the Patriots. I mean, there's not any...
Well, if you ever go up east, I've spent a little time up there. I mean, you see Bruins jerseys, you see people walking around with Red Sox. I mean, it's either the Sox or the Yankees up there. And then, of course, you got the Pats. But
let's go Blues.
Yeah, man.
Just one time. I never thought I would see the Blues in the finals.
I think you got a shot.
I think they've got a chance to win the thing.
I really think they do.
Game 5 is going to be pivotal. I think the pressure's on Boston in Game 5. You don't want to go down 3-2 and have to go back to St. Louis. If you're the Blues, just try to steal one here and get back home with a chance to win the Cup.
I think if they can do that, odds are. I mean, statistically, of course, it is. But I mean, man, that's huge.
But you win the Cup, they put your name on the thing. Mm-hmm. Not just your team name. Everybody's name that wins that thing is on the cup.
And they're still wearing gloves when they touch that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how coveted it is. You got to have a white glove to touch it.
Lots of other sports going on, though. Tate Van Hoosier has been selected for the West team in the Kentucky Sophomore All-Star Game. That's at Louisville Pleasure Ridge Park, June 18th. So Tate will play for the West. He was also named third-team All-State this week after leading
record
the team.
Home run
year. 10 home runs for him, hit .454. Led the team, I think, with 35 runs batted in this season, so just a fantastic year.
And a sophomore.
Yes, he's just a sophomore. Pretty good football player, too.
Yeah, I would say so.
But that's pretty big because on the Kentucky High School Baseball Coaches Association, which is a mouthful, all-state team, there were only 3, I think, from the second region that were mentioned on the entire squad. John Hogart from Madisonville North Hopkins, who hit over 500 this season during the regular season, was a first-team selection.
Right.
Drew McGowan from University Heights Academy, who's headed to Mississippi State, was honorable mention. And then Tate was third team.
Pretty impressive.
That's everybody in the second region that made the team. So, that's a pretty big deal. And, we went to the regional championship game, and it got moved to Western Kentucky, and you go into the field there in Bowling Green, and of course it's a college field, and it's a little bigger than a high school field, and you're looking at the dimensions, and we're like, I think Tate could get one out of here. And then, boom, he hits one over the 370 sign in left center. So
Yeah, that's fun stuff. And I know his parents and siblings are proud of him and his whole family. And congratulations. I mean, that's good stuff.
Yeah, he just has put a lot of work into becoming a better hitter and just really ate it up this season. Yeah, I thought the Tiger baseball team had a great season.
Great season.
Great season for the softball team as well. As I've mentioned before, everybody's season, if you don't win the state championship, your season came to an end too soon. It doesn't matter if you lose in the first round of the region or the sectional or the second round at state. You know, exactly. I mean, everybody always wanted to get one more game out of it. And but at some point you have to look back, just like basketball last season. I mean, those guys wanted to get to the regional championship game and got to the semifinals and ran into a really good University Heights team. But at some point you just have to look back to the season and look at it as a whole and say, you know, we had a really good season, really good year. So
you're exactly right.
Emma Talley also playing this week. She's in Galloway, New Jersey for the ShopRite Classic, I believe it is, and has an early tee time Friday morning, 7:59 a.m. Eastern time. So that's 6:49 a.m. here. I'm not sure I'll be up to see her tee off in the first round, but
what kind of coverage are they going to get this weekend? Potentially Golf Channel stuff?
It'll be on Golf Channel, but it will be in the afternoon on Friday, so I'm not sure if she'll get seen very much. Maybe some on Saturday. It's a 54-hole event this week, so first two rounds are Friday and Saturday. Then they have the cut for Sunday's final round, so a chance, you know, to maybe make a little money. I think Emma made just a little over $13,000 in this event last year. I think she tied for 28th.
Okay.
So you never know with golf. You know,
No.
you can be playing great, and then one day the wheels kind of come off, and you can be playing poorly, and one day go out and shoot your best round ever.
No doubt.
So it's a little bit different that way. But again, do
We
want to
wish
say
her luck.
Yeah, absolutely. And do want to say congratulations to all the spring sports teams. We've kind of wrapped up that season now, but I mean, not just baseball and softball, but tennis and track, and you know, everybody had good years and good years to build on for next season.
No doubt. And coming right up, you know, as Coach Kay was talking about, dead period coming up, but then, you know, we're right back into the swing of things with fall sports, and it's right around the corner, Todd.
Well, and the season never really ends
Not
anymore. You know,
no.
we had basketball this week over at the Sportsplex in Hopkinsville, and if you check yoursportsedge.com, we've got videos up, interviews and highlights. We've got photo galleries from all the action over there.
If you missed anything during the season, it is covered on yoursportsedge.com.
Some youth golfers in the area that we have video and reports on. The Hoptown Hoppers, I was over at their game last night, and they picked up a win over the Paducah Chiefs.
Good deal.
Handing Paducah its first loss of the season, and for the Hoppers ending a 3-game skid. Nobody local playing on the Hoppers this year. Shane Burns was over there last year, but we do have a couple of kids on the Henderson Flash in the Ohio Valley League. Noah Brown and Bryce Thomas playing on the Flash this season, and the Flash will actually play at Hopkinsville tonight over at Hopkinsville High School against the Hoppers.
All right.
So everything kind of ties together.
It does, and it's great that these athletes that play here at Caldwell County and all our local schools, many of them get to make that next jump to different types of leagues or their school. So, man, it just says a lot about our programs here and in this area. So.
Yeah, I couldn't begin to name everyone that has signed to play college sports this past school year. You know, off the top of my head, I mean,
and back in our era, it didn't happen a whole lot.
No, not as much.
No, but I mean, it happened. But it's nice to see there are many opportunities now for our athletes to either further their education with sports, along with sports, or just maybe find an opportunity to play sports either in the off season or after school.
And Caldwell County is very fortunate that we have a lot of success across different sports. And Caldwell County is not a large school; it's not really a small school, but I think for the size school Caldwell County is, it actually has fairly competitive sports and accomplishes quite a bit over the sports season.
There's no doubt about it. And again, it's a testament, I think, to parents buying into it, good coaching, and the programs out there to support young athletes. Because we know with sports, the longer you do it, over time, you're just going to become or should progress into a better player.
Well, Ty, thanks for sitting in today. I think we're just about out of time on the show.
Appreciate being here.
Stole a few extra minutes even.
Okay.
Good luck to the Blues.
Go Blues!
Game 5 tonight. I'll be watching.
I'm sure you will. I'll probably tune in and out. I've got some things to do around the house, but yeah, I usually have the TV on, especially when playoffs between basketball and hockey.
Yeah.
You know?
And thanks to Daniel Kukahiko, the Caldwell County boys basketball coach, for joining us on the show. We'll be back again next week with more. Ty, again, thanks for sitting in, and congratulations on the morning show. And
yeah,
good job you and
Great
Tess
to be
in
back.
the morning.
We're having a blast, and we definitely want everybody to tune in each morning from 6 to 9, and keep your radio tuned in to WPKY 1580 AM, 103.3 FM all day long for news, sports, and, of course, weather.
That's going to wrap us up here on the Sideline Report. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. 75 years after D-Day, a tribute to our veterans in Normandy, France.
Thanks to your country, your nation, and your veterans.
French President Emmanuel Macron and President Trump afterward holding bilateral meetings. President Trump taking reporters' questions on issues like tariffs in China.
When am I going to put the extra $325 billion worth of tariffs? I will make that decision, I would say, over the next 2 weeks, probably right after the G20. One way or the other, I'll make that decision after the G20. I'll be meeting with President Xi.
And just in this morning, U.S. trade deficit numbers showing it shrank in April, though the imbalance with China did move higher. U.S. productivity, meanwhile, grew at a solid 3.4% rate in the first quarter. That's the best showing in 4 years. This is Fox News.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for showers and thunderstorms today, mainly after lunchtime. Cloudy, high 81. Tonight, a 50-50 chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy, low around 68. Showers and thunderstorms likely again Friday, high near 78, with that chance of showers and thunderstorms continuing all weekend, with temps staying mild just shy of 80. Looks like our next full day of sunshine will be Tuesday, with milder temps staying with us through our extended forecast next week. Again, rain today with a high near 81.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Herb Hayes Furniture.
The weather's heating up, which means it's the perfect time to get that next job done. At AutoZone, we have the free services you need to do it right. Like our free AutoZone Fix Finder service. If your check engine light is on, our Fix Finder service will help troubleshoot the likely issue. And if you want a repair shop to help with the job, we know some of the best ones around. Getting the job done just got easier. Let us help you at more than 5,600 locations nationwide. Restrictions and details in store.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Lowe's knows you'll do it right to find the right gifts for Dad this Father's Day. We do it right, too, with deals that'll make Dad as proud as his perfectly seared steak and his perfectly manicured lawn. Now get a Charbroil 4-burner Advantage Series gas grill for just $169. And pick up your choice of Craftsman gas or electric string trimmer for only $99 each.